Alright guys, welcome back, and right now, as you saw, we already started a project, and by default, once we configured which web map or which data to connect this project to, it already took each feature layer. We have the electric poles, which is points, we have electric lines, which is a line feature layer, and we have the electric area, which is a polygon feature layer. And for each layer, it created this button for it, say create a new feature. And actually right now we can open ArcGIS QuickCapture on my phone, and I can collect data with it right now. But before we do this, we need to see how can we configure it even more. So on the top here, this orange area doesn't show up on the app. This is just for you to add controls, and there is 3 things that you can add. Only 3 things. You can add a group, and the group will be exactly like this. So we can drag and drop a group right here, and I can customize this group by click on it and say my group. And number of columns, how many columns do you need? You can add 2, 3, 4. Each button can go in one column, so this is up to you. Make group collapsible. By default, you can make it collapsible, where you can collapse it or not. By default, you can make it collapsible or expanded. This is configuration for you to change it. Here you can change the border color, so we can make it red, you can make it white, you can make it any color you want, and just to change the how it looks like. So that's the first thing. You can add a group. Here we have groups, where this is a group already, like electric poles is a group, this is a group, this is a group, and you can add your own group. Here we have a button that add a feature, and here we can add a button that capture data, and this is going to be exactly the same as this one's, but we're going to configure this one in a different way. And because here we have 2 columns, we can add 3 columns if you want to add 3 buttons, or if you want to add 1 column and add multiple buttons beneath each other, you can do that. So we can add 2 buttons here, and we can add 1 link at the bottom here. So here we will say, for example, this one will capture the wood poles, and this for the poles we will change this one to steel poles. So this button will be used to capture steel poles, and this will capture wood poles for the same layer. So we can actually take this one and add it here. If it's associated with the same layer, we can add it here. Or you can create another group and add your button here. Or you can take this one and add it here. The way you design your groups and buttons is completely up to you. What really matters here is not the group and not the UI for it. What really matters is the functionality of the button. So the button here will collect steel poles, and here will collect electric lines, and here will collect electric areas. So what we are doing right now is configure a new button to do something for us. So this will collect poles with wood type, and this will collect poles with a steel type. And we will see how we can configure this too right here. The third button which we added here is a link, and that will like open a link or do something specific for us other than adding data. So let's start with the buttons that add data. Let's start with this one. This one here will add polygons, because this is a polygon layer. So the way it will add a polygon is when you click on it, it will start to record your longitude and latitude, or X and Y, as long as you are walking around, and then when you stop recording, it will connect the last point to the first point. You will not see any of that on the map, but what will happen is this feature will be added, and you can see it when you collect your data, and you can see the data on your web map when you open it separately. So the settings we have for each button is the label, how you want to name your button. You can change the text for it. You can make small text, medium text, large text. You can also change the style, make the style big or small or medium. Up to you how you want to customize the size and the look of your button. You can change the shape to make it rounded, ended, or square. You can change the color of the fill here. You can like make it any color you want. So we can make this one green like this. We can make it like gray. Up to you how you want to design it, and you can customize the border to be any color you want, and that is the border for the line. We have a border for the group that we customized, and we have a border for the button itself. And here at the end you can actually add an image for this button, like as you saw here when we opened the overview for ArcGIS QuickCapture. It shows you some icons here, and this icons is existing icons that you can use in your button by go in here and choose add image. You can upload your own image if you have images, or you can browse a gallery that have hundreds of images that you can use. Because we are collecting like utilities or like electricity lines, here we can show, for example, like this one here is a line that we need to make sure that is collected, and like I see a line here, or I see an area here that need to be captured. You can change these icons the way you want. You can crop it, you can change it, you can update it, or you can remove the image. We have a lot of pictures here that you can use, but if you have your own custom pictures, you can use it as well, and you can customize your button the way you want. You can change the label from here. Like here we can add affected area, and this is how we change the size, the color, and the font for it. So now we finished the appearance and how it looks like. The second option here we have is the data. Which data this will add, like this button will add data for. Here we have the layer already selected, and you can only associate one layer with one button because it's gonna add data based on this layer. You cannot change it from here and change which layer you can work with based on the data you have associated with your application. And here we will configure which data or what is the default attribute values for this feature when the user add it. So that's it for now for this video. This is how you can configure or add your button, and this is for the button to collect the feature. We changed the appearance and now we configured the data. So because this is an area, so we're gonna say the default thing is steel pull type, the default wire type is medium. You can leave it empty if you want. Of course, the default repair status will say need repair because this need to be repaired. Entered by Swalem, because I will be the user who is using it. The other thing here, you can say fixed value. You can set a value or device variable. Device variable will say the name of the device, so it could be the user who's using it. Button user input. Input dialog is show after a button is pressed. Entered value is written on this field in the captured record, which means like it's gonna ask the user what you want to add here. Project user input. So I'm gonna use project user input, and this will record the username whoever logged in to capture this area. So when you open capture ArcGIS QuickCapture on your phone, you need to sign in with your organization account. So the app already know which user are using the application, and here we will say entered by select user input. Entry dates, we can say start time, which is today, and entry notes, affected areas need attention. That's default value. Repaired by, it's not repaired yet. Repaired date is not repaired. No repair, not verified, no verification, no verification. So this is just basic information. If you looked at ArcGIS collector section or ArcGIS field maps and you saw why we designed our layers this way, you will know that there is multiple stages for each area we collect. There is reporting of the area that need to be fixed, and then people need to go repair it, and people need to go to verify it. So right now we have the first stage. We're gonna use QuickCapture instead of using collector, so we can quickly collect this data, and we're gonna set the default values for this collection. So now for this button we are done. For the electricity lines, same thing. We can say this one will be we can define the default values for it. We can do the exact same thing. But for the electric poles, we're gonna do something different. For the electric poles, we will make this button collect the points as. Here we change this. We can make it the same. We can change the fill to be lighter blue, or actually we can make it look like a wood, like this wood color, because this is wood, and steel we can make it look gray because this is steel. So just to give an idea of what you can do, you can change the border also. You can change the image for the steel. So we can have here in utilities, we can say, you can choose any one of them. Like there's so many different galleries that you can use. So you can use this one, and for the wood, I'll keep it like that. So now what we are gonna do difference for them. For the wood, we will define the data by default to be like here we are the electric poles. We're gonna set the electric poles and we're gonna say single point, not streaming points. Streaming points means as long as I'm going, it's gonna keep recording points without me like I'm gonna tap once on this button and it's gonna keep streaming point. Every 10 meters it will take a point till I tap again and stop. If I said single point, I will tap once, record it, and that's it. Here we have an option to show map after capture. That's okay, we can enable that to see how it looks like. Apply custom title, apply custom hint. We don't need this right now. Take photo. You have an option to take a photo or not, it's up to you. So you can record like tap to add a feature, and you can tap here to add a photo for this. How many photos you want to add? You have minimum one up to however you want. This is completely up to you. I'm gonna keep it one as minimum and maximum. Hide camera preview, which means if you hide this one, it will just like take a photo of it without open the camera for you. Use photo location for captured records. We can use the photo locations for captured records as well. Because this one is wood, so we're gonna change the pool type here to wood. That's why we configured this one specifically for wood and we name it wood. So when the user tap on this, that means it's a wood pool. And that's how it's gonna be added as wood. So this value will be there. Wire type, we can say it's gonna be medium. Repair status needs repair. Entered by project user, and the same things we can do. For the steel, we will say I want to change. We're gonna configure it the same way here and take photo as well, or not. It's up to you how you want to configure your like button or how the data will be entered. But here we will say steel. So this one will add a new feature, but the pool type will be wood, and this one will add a new feature and the pool type will be steel. So you can configure your default values based on this configuration you do right here, and you can customize it the way you see fit for you. So that's how you can add a capture button and how can you configure like a button for collecting data. And of course, after you make any changes, make sure you click save so you save this project. So here we have two errors. Say label button does not target a feature layer, which is this one right here. We added a button and we didn't configure it for any layers, so that's an error. We cannot save and we cannot use this project. We have this error. And here say label button does not have a link, so we didn't configure this one yet. So now we have this button that we just added to this group configured and ready to go. We have this one by default was created for us, and we customized this one the way you saw earlier in the video. So right now I will stop the video here and I will come back in the next video to show you how to customize the link button and how to like, let's remove this one because we already customized the one here. So we can come here and say delete, and this will duplicate, will create another one. If you have any button you want to duplicate, if you created a button with a design and you want to make a copy of it, you click on this one. So we're gonna delete this one. I will say delete this one, and I will say delete as well. And now we have the buttons ready. Actually adding the label is very, like here for the link one, is very easy. So I will continue in the video here and say when you click on the link button, it's very easy. You have the appearance, same thing, you can change it however you want. You can add the image, you can upload a new image. So I'm gonna upload the logo for ArcGIS Mastery. I'm gonna change here, say ArcGIS Mastery, and I'll make the size small like that, or like keep it the way it is. That's good for now. The fill can be light blue at the background or dark blue like this. That's good. And we can save as that, and you will see that the errors button does not have a link. So we didn't add the link yet. So here you go. Here's the link. For the link you have two options. You can add a URL or you can add survey 123 field app. So here we will add the URL https www.arcgismastery.com, and we will say save, and that will be saved without any errors and everything will be fine. And now I can use this project. One thing I will show you is we can add this here and we can say collect survey. This is a new button here. We can say collect survey, and this one will collect survey using survey 123. So we can do this, and we will make the link to open a survey. And because I'm using it on the app, on the phone app, it will open survey 123 for me automatically. So here I'm gonna choose this survey and I'm gonna say save. So now this button will open ArcGIS Mastery URL. This button will open survey 123 and open the survey that associated with it. Here say pass location to survey 123. Yes, that's okay. Return to QuickCapture after you finish adding the survey. Yes, that's okay as well. Survey questions, you can add questions here if you want to add, but we already have a lot of controls in the survey here. If you don't know how to create survey 123 survey, please go to survey 123 section so you can understand how can you configure it. So now all the application is done, and we can actually use it right now with how it is, and we are going to do that. But before we do that, in the next video we will fix these warnings, and also we will go through the settings we have right here before we go ahead and download the form or the project on our ArcGIS QuickCapture application on the phone and start using it to collect data. So that's it for how to configure your buttons. It's very straightforward. You only have two type of buttons, and this is how you can configure them. It's very easy. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, or if you want to contact me directly, you can send me an email to contact@ArcGIS Mastery, and I will reply to you as soon as possible. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.